How can an ordinary bus ride home for a young medical intern and her male companion go so horribly wrong? I dread to think what happened that fatal night of December 16th, 2012, when the 23-year-old medical intern named Nirbhaya was brutally gang-raped by 6 men in that moving bus. The rapists drove the bus in circles for almost an hour as they took turns raping her. The rape turned even more horrific when a rusted rod was inserted inside her and brought out with so much force that Nirbhaya's intestines spilled out. The attackers then threw both the victims from the moving bus. Cars passed by. No one stopped. Nirbhaya and her male companion lay mauled and naked in the December cold before the police arrived. What followed the fateful night of 16th December 2012 was unimaginable.
After that brutal rape of a student in Delhi, an angry nation has come together for justice. Even as we speak, the crowds are still there at India Gate, even on the road leading up to Rashtrapati Bhavan. There are students, women, men, activists, politicians, all demanding action and justice for a 23-year-old.
It shook everybody. Everyone that you talked to was so horrified that how can this happen?
It happened in the middle of Delhi, under our very noses, so to say.
It was a case which could have happened to any normal Delhi girl.
Everybody was choking the streets of this city.
But everybody had tears of anger in their eyes and everybody wanted to do something.
खोदने पे जाएंगे तो अब उससे भी खराब केसेस मिलेंगे. वो एक वक्त था जब लोगों ने बोला बस, अब बस.
Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We can't take this victimization anymore.
It was an anger that came from diverse sources.
You didn't give us good laws. You did not give us good policing. You did not give us expeditious judgments.
It all sort of came together, and anger welled over, and on the streets they went.
It was winter, it was December, and they faced the water cannons, and they didn't move, and they came out day after day after day.
It is she who set the bar. She's the one who fought back when the rape happened. She's the one, when she was in hospital, who said, I want to live. So she signaled that this is not about me. It's about the fact that I've been raped, and as far as I'm concerned, I want to come back and live my life like any other young girl. So she made the change.
All of you sitting here was either you were witness to this or you were part of the movement. When I began doing this story, I really wanted to show, I was desperately wanting to capture this in the film. There was no money, there was no access, and I had no network behind me. But I knew that this was going to be my most important film that I would do. It was also my first film out of India. I had earlier worked for the US networks to do their domestic violence campaign or to do the film on global warming. But I knew that this had to be done. We knew at that point that the police was a critical element to basically document this film. And at that time, the police had become like a fortress. It was absolutely impossible to reach the Commissioner of Police at that time. Well, I think it was a combination of circumstances, call it good karma, relentless pursuit, but I made it to the Commissioner of Police's office. His name was Mr. Neeraj Kumar. And I told him, sir, I looked into his eyes and I said, sir, you have to trust me. I will make a responsible film because I am a stakeholder in this society that wants change to happen. There was no formal nod. I waited for his reply when he looked at me and he said, I am a father of 2 daughters. We had gained access to the Delhi Police Control and Command Room. And that was the beginning of our journey. As a team, we were optimistic. We said, here, we have a story to tell. It was the first night at the Police Control and Command Room when we received a call saying that a 5-year-old had been gang raped. I went with the police to the site where she was found. It was a small, frail, bloodied body that was found 48 hours after she went missing. We realized she was breathing. We rushed her to the hospital, and what I saw there was even worse than when I'd opened that door. Doctors had removed candles and bottles from inside her. I remember that night not being able to feel the ground under my feet. We went back to our hotel room and I called up my husband and I said, I would like to return home. I am clearly not brave enough to tell this story. I am not strong enough. That's when he told me, you cannot unsee what you've seen. The only closure that you will receive is when this film is complete and a life is saved. And that's what our team worked on. Even if one life gets saved as a result of this journey was totally worth it. We returned back to the control and command room. The police commissioner said, you are expected to be invisible. And we had become a fly in the wall. The police, after some time, had stopped noticing us. But we noticed everything about the police. And the biggest realization that came to me was, oh my God, the police shared the same emotions like me. They had disgust, despair, sadness, anger. And for the first time, I looked at the police as human beings. It was not about them versus us. They were clearly a reflection of us. They were a reflection of how the society is thinking. So if it was okay to beat up a woman at home, it was okay not to register the FIR. That's the time when I removed my role as a filmmaker and I stood in the police control and command room as a mother of 2 sons. And I said, I can either be part of the solution or the problem. If I raise my sons with an unnecessary sense of entitlement, you know where I stand in this movement. And this is where we are here. That's when we decided that we will make a film that will inspire change. If today any one of you is inspired to make that change happen, I hope you go back home and inspire 4 more to make that change happen. We are working here on a multiplication of thoughts. So I can either leave you with disgust and disillusionment, which will then further multiply, or I can actually just cling on to that hope, hoping that change will happen. And that's the route we took. And for that, I am so grateful. It is the more difficult route. It is much easier to make a sensational film. It's an easier sell. It's easier to get the audience in. But what today I've realized is it's no longer my film. It's people who have taken this film forward. And for that, I am genuinely very, very grateful. We have seen miracles happen in the film. Today, the police force across the country are screening the film. Our toughest critics have embraced the film. I have been asked for the film to be dubbed in multi-regional languages. I waited with a check for all the artists. Not one dubbing artist took money. They wanted to be part of the movement. Recently, when there was the rape of the nun in Kolkata, the cardinal watched the film and he said, "It's my assurance that every Jesuit school in the country will carry the film." These are the miracles that we have seen, and these miracles belong to all of you. I stand here just like when any one of you. I am also searching for answers, but I urge you all to speak up. If we don't speak up now, all that we saw right there will be wasted. When you see something going wrong, speak up. When actions are not right, say something. Speak up. This is going to be the generation of strife. There will be strife. This may also be a generation that will be lost in the movement. But the time is now. Today, you all are present here to watch this, to watch me. But more importantly, you are here because you're ready to embrace change. Today, I look at you and say, keep the dialogues moving. We need to break the conspiracy of silence that surrounds the issue of gender violence. And why do I say this to you? Because you can. Thank you so much.